The winner of the RunThinkShootLive.com Best Gold Source release this last year was a mod called Arctic Incident. Now, with such high praise, I wanted to see if it was warranted. So I played through, and I am here to tell you all the ups and downs of this Half-Life 1 modification. This is VNN Mod Reviews for the Gold Source mod Arctic Incident. Arctic Incident, being a gold source mod, comes with the limitations of the engine. This means that instead of graphics, the mod either has to focus on gameplay or story to keep the game interesting for the player. In regards to gameplay, this one does very well. However, with story, there really isn't any. The game opens with some scientists in a cave accidentally finding alien life and then running away. So gameplay has to take precedence. So how does it play? The game opens with a few crawls through caves, and during my play, it did remind me a little of the early first-person shooters, with the collection of an item hidden somewhere in the level to progress to the next area. Usually it's a keycard or a key, but in Arctic Incident, it changes the item up, making it either a keycard, a key, or explosives. It only happens a few times during the entirety of the mod, but it did stick out. The levels are quite well made. The only real problem is that the different paths that really don't lead anywhere are very abundant. There are many times where you're going to be able to find a branching pathway thinking that it might lead to two different areas of a map, but instead one takes you to where you're supposed to go and the other is a dead end with an item. Yes, this is a thing that some video games do, but in general I just see it as unnecessary. The levels themselves are slightly varied, taking place in caves, buildings, and surrounding snowy areas. With this mod being set in the Arctic, everything is themed around the snow. If you play the game without any add-ons, the game retextures all the normal Half-Life enemies with a bright white color, and the majority of the game, whether or not you use any add-ons, does have a very bright white and gray theme. Now I bring this up due to the fact that there exists an HD pack with updated models, textures, and sounds. I played the first half of this mod without the pack, and I highly recommend using it. Nothing against the original models and textures, but the changes made in the HD pack add immensely to the game's atmosphere. And this is where the game does best. Arctic Incident changes just enough to feel atmospheric and moody to even the seasoned Half-Life player. The areas look cold and somewhat abandoned, and the sound of the player's feet crunching in the snow adds to the overall feel. Now, the ModDB page states that this game is around 20 to 25 minutes, and I would say that's a bit off for your first playthrough. The game took me around an hour to complete, although this partly had to do with the game's difficulty. Whether or not you had the same experience as me, even on easy, I did die a few times. Now, this shouldn't be a huge problem, but unfortunately it is, as after my first death in this game, I found out that there were very few autosave points, and I ended up being thrown way back into the beginning of the campaign after I died near the end. So quick saving is a must if you want to finish the game quickly, as well as rationing your ammo and health, as health is distributed out quite well throughout this mod. However, you will not see it as much as you would like, meaning it's not conservative with the health. However, it divvies out the health in a perfect ratio to the difficulty level. I do see this mod as slightly difficult for the seasoned Half-Life player, especially if you haven't played much Half-Life 1 in the recent past. So overall, I do recommend this mod, as it is a shorter one and the theme and atmosphere of it is very, very nice. Like I said before, it changes up just enough for the seasoned Half-Life player to be able to enjoy themselves. It is a free mod to download on RunThinkShootLive.com. However, I do recommend downloading the HD pack, as it adds a lot to the game's mood and atmosphere. I do see how it won its rewards. However, I do feel that that is partly due to the fact that not a ton of people are creating full-length campaigns in the Half-Life 1 engine as much as they are in the Source engine. It's an older technology, and not as many of the people that are still in the modding community understand the tools as much as they do the Source engine tools, so it's just part of the aging process for most technology in video games. I very much recommend it, and please check out the link down in the description to download it for yourself. Thank you very much for watching. As you know, this is VNN Mod Reviews. Have a good day. Adios.